Are you making these mistakes in sales? Hey, what's up? This is Pete Scott here, sales and business mentor for the 1%. In this video, I'm going to share with you the 5 biggest mistakes that salespeople make when trying to sell their product or service. So what I want you to do is comment below, because these are very common mistakes. But the good news is that they are also easily fixable. So stick around for the 10 minutes to get all 5, and then from there, let me know which mistake you've been making and what you're going to do about it. Mistake number 1, talking too much about yourself or your product. So you get 2 mistakes in one here, but the 2 come hand in hand. I'm sure you found yourself in a scenario where you've been the customer and you've gone in to buy a product, or you've been interested in the service, but the salesperson just went on about themselves, saying about how long they've worked at the company, what they got up to on the weekend. They were maybe far too personable instead of actually talking about you. Not only that, there's a big mistake when you go on about your product. I want you to remember this. The product does not sell the product. In other words, the thing does not sell the thing. The more you find yourself talking about the product, and the more you lean on your product, the less likely you are to sell it. And the reason for that is because your customer doesn't give a damn about your product. What your customer cares about is the results that your product will bring to their life. So the more you go on and on about the product, the more you're making that entire conversation about yourself or about, the product that you sell. But let me ask you something. How valuable is that to your customer? Why should they even care about what it is that you've got to tell them about? So this is an amateur sales move, but some people hold on to this sales behavior for their entire sales career. And what I want you to do instead is, number 1, check out my other videos where I start to talk about all the things that you should be doing to be selling better, but make your sales conversations much more about the goals, the results of your customer. From there, the current struggles that they've had, how long they've been, how long has this been an issue for them, and how desperate are they to do something about it. Make it about them and you'll have far more success. Mistake number 2, the reopen close. I know you've done this before. You've got your customer to the point of yes. They're ready to go. They're qualified. Their buying state, remember this, buying state is at peak. So that means emotionally they're engaged in what you're talking about. You've discussed that this solution you will provide for them will help them to reach their goals, the results that they wish to achieve. But instead of going ahead and saying, hey, should we get the contract drawn up? Or should we book in your first appointment for whatever services they're booking in for? Or just simply closing the damn sale, you reopen the whole thing because you're not sure, are they ready yet? And you feel like you need to say more, and therefore you say more, and then the whole thing just reopens again. Most salespeople, and also people who sell but don't consider themselves to be salespeople, have made this mistake, and they make it countless times. I've made this mistake many times in my life where someone has been ready to buy, and I keep going on and on and on. In fact, I remember seeing a seminar which was a phenomenally delivered presentation, and at the end of the seminar, the lady who was presenting said, okay, if you wish to take the next steps with me, then what I'd love to do is offer you whatever her solution was. And you could see around the room that everybody was ready to go, and that was the point where she simply had to end the seminar and move people to her booking table. Instead of that, she then said, does anybody have any questions? At that point, there was one question, another question, and she taught, let me just say this, she taught for another 45 minutes. And by the time she had done that, guess what? She had lost that magic moment. She had lost that peak buying state. And once you lose that peak buying state, once you lose that moment where it's the right time to close and you reopen the whole sales process or the whole sales conversation, you may end up talking your customer out of the sale instead of into the sales. And you've got to remember this, that when somebody comes to see you, your job is to, simply move them towards the yes. It's not to go on and on. So that is mistake number 2. Mistake number 3, forgetting to close. I'm gonna keep this one short and sweet because it is what it says on the tin. There are so many times where you have had an incredible conversation with a customer, and from there they were nodding away, you asked the right questions, you got them engaged, and then you simply forgot to ask for the business. The most important thing that you do when you are selling is that you know how to close, and you ask for that commitment. Everybody can sell. Everybody sells every day. In fact, if you just walk into a restaurant, they're trying to sell to you that you have the nicest thing on the menu. If you speak to a friend, they're trying to convince you that the holiday that they went on was the best holiday ever. But how many people can truly close? The reason why so many people forget to close altogether is, number one, they've never done any training in sales. So if you haven't done any training in sales, I'm gonna be blunt with you right now. If you want to sell and have a successful career in whatever it is, product or service, then you must do sales training. It's got to be top of your agenda. Number two, people forget to close because they have a fear of rejection. You see, if you just have a great conversation with someone, well, you can just bank that you had a great conversation. And lots of salespeople do this. They go around their entire career saying, well, we had a great chat, maybe they will come back and buy. And then when the manager says to them, did you ask for the commitment? They say, well, no, I forgot because of this reason or that reason. You cannot forget to ask for the business. It will surprise you when you get in the habit of asking for the commitment that the amount of people that you never believed would say yes will say not only yes, they will make that commitment and they'll be ready to buy there and then. Mistake number 4, entering the friend zone. Guys, I'm talking to you now. How many times have you been guilty of entering the friend zone? The friend zone is not a great place to be. Why? Because you do all the work. You have all the conversations. You have multiple contact with that person. So you are, seeing them too many times, and now you've gone from, he's kind of a cool guy, maybe quite interesting, quite mysterious, to the friend zone. Now, the big issue with this, and I'm staying with dating as an analogy for now, is that if you are too nice, overly nice, there's a difference between kindness and niceness, by the way, but if you're simply so nice and you just want to serve the customer and say yes to everything that they come up with, and listen to their problems and have sympathy with them, you are not stepping into a place of authority. That customer will not look up to you in a way that I trust this person. I trust them with my money. I trust them that they're offering the right solution for me. And then what you're going to do is you're going to become that free source of information for that individual. Going back to dating, if you think about when you've gone on a date with someone and then from there, you go on another date with them and then another date, there's got to be an advancement. Something has to move forward. You've got to move in for that first kiss and find out if it's a yes or if it's a no. Or you've simply got to say, hey, listen, I really like you. Do you want to take the next step in this relationship? I don't know. It's been a while since I've been in the dating game. But at the same time, sales and dating are exactly the same. You've got to be sold on yourself. You've got to have that confidence, that certainty. But a big mistake that I see so many salespeople make is they enter the friend zone. Yes, build the rapport. Yes, get to know that person. Yes, you want to lower their barriers. But you have to have an advancement. You have to have the next step, which is to move towards the close. Mistake number 5, never justify yourself. When you get to a point where you are ready to ask for the investment from the customer, it is a matter of simply doing that. Ask for the investment, ask for the commitment, and then say, are you ready to move forward? At that stage, it's up to your customer to close the sale. Remember this, you never close the sale. Your customer makes that decision in their mind. If you've done the work, you've qualified, you've had a great conversation, your presentation went well, and then you re-qualified, wow, all the groundwork has been done simply for now your customer to say yes. By justifying, what you're doing is you're showing that all the value that you're given, you're still not sure about. And it comes from really an insecurity, or it comes from a lack of training, a lack of confidence, and feeling that you need to give more. I'm going to say it as it is right now, you don't need to give more at that point. Now, where you may have needed to get more if you still get a no is earlier on in the conversation, but you should never ever try to get more at the end of the sales conversation. Once you've moved to the close, it's time to sign on the dotted line. So that is mistake number 5, which is to never justify yourself. So there you have it. Are you making any of these sales mistakes? If you are, the good news is that, as I said at the beginning of this video, they are easily fixable. However, if we're not aware of them or we don't do anything about them, they can be costing us thousands. You as an individual, they can be costing you so much in commission. They can be costing you so much in lost customers, and it'd be costing you a business if you're running a business as well. So the best thing you can do is to think about which ones am I doing right now and how can I start to eliminate them. I mentioned earlier on in the video that sales training is key to success. By watching this video, sure, it's starting that process for you, but I want to encourage you to keep learning sales. Make it number one in your business, because the more you learn about sales, the more confident you become in the sales process, in the conversations that you have, the more influential you can be with your customers. So comment below, let me know which mistakes you've been making, which ones you're going to change, and then from there, I'll see you in our next video.